Folks, welcome back to part 4 of Project Big Booty, our reloading 300 Blackout Subsonic project. And so far, this project has been a heap of fun. I've really enjoyed it, and I've also enjoyed hearing from y'all as well. Yes, it is cold. I'm out here, though, enjoying a little bit of sun before the sun dips below the horizon. It has been overcast for the past week and rainy and just crappy weather. So I'm taking full advantage here of the sun today. Also, too, wanted to wish y'all a happy Merry Christmas and also, too, a Happy New Year for 2024. For those of y'all that are watching the video when it's fresh, we'll see how 2024 is. It's probably going to be a pretty interesting year, I think. Also, wanted to cover a couple comments before we get into the load development. Because the good thing about doing this, and part of the reason why I do it, is to kind of hear back from y'all and what y'all's experiences are with a lot of this stuff. And that's kind of what YouTube to me is about, is kind of a sharing environment where we can share information back and forth and learn from one another and see what works for us or doesn't work for us. One user I had a good exchange with, it's a Mark 18-ish. We had a good back and forth on, I guess he's busy kind of trying to, do a similar load. So I was just hearing about his experiences and stuff. And so that's kind of stuff I enjoy hearing about, to kind of see what results you all get and all that. Keep in mind, when I do these reloading videos, you're just simply watching, what I'm doing. I'm not doing a tutorial or how-to or anything like that. You get to see what I do, and maybe the way I do it isn't how you do it or whatever. Always work up your own loads and always, do your own development. Everybody has different types of rifles and, or pistols or whatever it might be. So, work it up on your own. But yeah, it's good to hear from people and kind of what you guys see. Another thing, one guy said, haven't started reloading, but 300 Blackout is one I'm thinking about strongly. Definitely. I'll tell you what, with 300 Blackout, especially with the cost of factory ammo and stuff like that, and how versatile 300 Blackout is. That's why 300 Blackout's been so successful. You hear a lot of people try to trash it and stuff, but ultimately for a short range cartridge, you can't beat it. It's very easy to reload for overall. It uses Magnum pistol powders. You can use regular small rifle primers. I use the ones that are the mil spec, number 41s or whatever. And and you can use just about any 308 bullet out there. So it's kind of a no-brainer to reload for. And it's not that difficult to reload for, especially if you just start with simple stuff to begin with. So definitely try it out. Also, another comment I got was the batch that was on the border of Subsonic was probably less accurate because the bullets had to undergo the transonic zone. This usually leads to instability. Yeah, so that probably could have been a thing where maybe we're starting to get a little bit of wobble or things are spinning around a little bit more. We'll see how it goes when I drop the powder charge in this video, how that all kind of plays out. I'd love to see what a suppressor does to the velocity. Me too. One thing I've got to tell you guys is I'm just like everybody else in the sense of I have probably 50 bazillion things that I want to buy. But like everybody, you have to kind of budget and, go with what you have to spend on different things. So, I'd love to have a suppressor, but it's one of those things where I just haven't plunked the money down for it yet. And so at some point, I will have a suppressor. Ideally, what I would like to do with my main modern firearms is suppress all of them. And a part of that is I already have hearing loss. So the more I can preserve my hearing, I wear double hearing protection most of the time I shoot. So that's just better for me. And also, too, it's quieter for your neighbors as well. So that's going to happen at some point. When it's going to happen, it could happen next month. It could happen 6 months from now, happen a year from now. Don't know, but you'll see it on the channel at some point. And there's another question about suppressed. Pretty much just answered that. And why not cast? Well, casting to me, and here's kind of the thing. I'm not opposed to casting. For a lot of folks, casting is a way for people to shoot cheaply. It's a way for you to make your own bullets and all that. I think that's awesome. The thing is, right now, we're like with anything in life, you always have to weigh up the time, the energy, the resources you put into stuff. And for me, personally, it's easier for me to allocate the money to buying bullets that are already manufactured because there's so many people making them, than to take my own time at the moment and get into the whole casting thing and then cast bullets. So not opposed to it at all, and maybe someday I'll do it. But for as many projects as I have, I simply don't have the time really to do it. Now, maybe one cast bullet I might consider. There's a couple people in my state. They have a small little casting business where they make bullets and stuff, and they make like 220 grain bullets, and then they put them in a coating, which is what I would prefer anyways. And so I might consider that at some point. So I'm not ruling that out. But with so many bullet options out there, and you take like berries here, they got a couple of heavy bullet options here. You've got Hornady, they've got a couple, there's other things. So there's just tons of bullet options, and it's just the thing where, there again, just trying to allocate where your time, your money, and your resources go. So, for those of you that cast, though, that's a good thing. Happy to hear it. So anyways, folks, let's get into some of the load development and where I'm going in this video, and we'll go from there. Okay, folks, so here we are at the reloading bench, and we are working on our loads right now on this very cold evening. And what I have done is I have loaded up 20 with exactly 12 grains of CFE black. And now I am moving on to loading up 20 with 11.9 grains of CFE black. And so that is going to be the plan. I think, considering the results that we got in the last video, we're already dipping down into subsonic. So now it's going to be a deal of just gradually walking this down 1/10 of a grain at a time, and pretty much probably we're already there, and just walking it into exactly to where we want to be. And so I think, I am suspecting, we'll see how it goes, but I think either this 11.9 or 12.0 will probably do it for me and get me to where I want to go. We'll see how that pans out. But that is kind of the plan. And if that doesn't work out, then we will continue to stair-step it down further, if need be, and see where we end up. But that would end up being another video. So we'll just kind of see how it kind of plays out. Then the other thing, too, is I am interested in perhaps using another powder. I saw on, I'm trying to think of the vendor, I think it was Powder Valley, but it looks like they finally have gotten some of that Shooter's World Blackout powder, which is a powder made in Czech Republic by Lovex. And I think that powder might be worth looking at, and so there's a possibility we may continue the project with this powder, or we might experiment with AA1680. That is a possibility as well, so we will kind of see where that goes. But we'll see what results we get. I'm curious to see how the accuracy is going to hold up and how that's going to kind of play out once we start to drop these speeds down. And so I'm just kind of curious, is the accuracy going to hold up, or is it going to drop off big time? So we'll see how it pans out. It's always fun to do these projects and kind of see what you get. So next step here, we are going to be up at the range, and we'll get started with our testing up there with our usual chronograph and then a little bit of accuracy testing, and see what we get. I'm very curious to see where this one is going to go. So, all right, on up to the range. Okay, folks, so now we are up at the range here, and the weather today is not bad. In the low 30s, it's a little bit cold, but the sun is out. It is a little bit low in the sky there. But we're getting ready to go here. So we've got our 11.9 that we're going to be testing out, CFE black, and then we have our 12.0. And we have our whole rig here set up. Get our camera here turned around. And we've got the magneto speed. I got a question about that. And if y'all are not aware, I did a review on the magneto speed probably about at least a year ago, maybe a little bit, might have been a winter before, but I did a full review on it. It's about 20 minutes long, as I recall. Goes through all the ins and outs of the magneto speed, so check it out. It's one of your different options out there that you can kind of go with. Probably if I was to do it again and I was just totally flush with money, I would spend the extra $200 and get all the extra doodads and the Bluetooth and all that. But the regular Sporter model, it works fine. It's very light, compact, easy to carry. So check out that review if you guys are interested in that. So anyways, here's the setup we'll run today. We got Mr. Heater back there for any supplemental heat that we might need. And let's get started. Okay, folks, so let's take a look at our data here. So we missed a shot there because the battery conked out. So that was my fault. So anyways, let's go back through the data. We got an average of 1,080. Our high was 1,095. Our low was 1,057. Our standard deviation was 13, not too bad. Our spread was 38. And then, let's see here, we had 1,092, 1,081, 1,061, 1,094, 1,095. So we're still a little bit high there. 1,057, 1,088, 1,077, and 1,081. So at the end of the day, still a little bit high there, so we'll see what the 11.9 does for us. Everything shot okay, no problems at all. So let's go ahead and move on to the 11.9, see what we get. Okay, let's take a look at our data here. So our average is 1061, our high 1081, our low 1051, our standard deviation 11, our spread is 30, Our shot data, number 9 here, we had 1051, we had 1066, we had 1054, 1081, 1051, 1066, 1077, 1053, and at 1058. So there we go. We're pretty much in the subsonic zone. Let's go ahead. We'll put a couple on paper here and see what we get at 50 yards with accuracy. Folks, so let's take a look at the accuracy here real quick. On top is the 12.0. The bottom there is the 11.9. The top group here, just my thumb just fits inside of it. I'd say we're probably at about 1.5 inches on that group, and then a little bit wider on the bottom group with the 11.9. Overall, I would say for what we are doing with a big fat plated bullet, shooting it out of a 16-inch barrel, and also too shooting at subsonic, I would say for 50 yards, the accuracy is, at least at a minimum acceptable. And overall, I'm pretty pleased with it myself. I mean, in terms of that, I'll take it. And so I think that's probably about the accuracy you could probably expect at 50. Now, whenever I shot it on the steel gong up there, what I noticed was we were starting to fall out to the left. I was aiming center mass on the gong, and they were just spinning out to the left, and in some cases not even getting on the gong. So I think we're starting at that distance. You're getting in more of the limitations of what you can expect out of this, and that bullet is probably starting to wobble a fair bit and is just going to fall off into space there at some point and plop into the ground. So there are just certain limitations with what we are doing. But overall, pretty happy. So let's go ahead and wrap it up for today. So folks, it is time to wrap up the video here before the sun drops below the horizon and it starts to turn cold pretty fast. So how y'all like my snood here? Got this from Ireland for Christmas. These things, if you've never used these before, they keep you nice and warm, that is for sure. Came from, I think, Donegal up in Northern Ireland. So anyways, yeah, the project has been awesome. I've really enjoyed it. It's been one of my more fun projects that I've done. And I think we've gotten some good results out of it. I've been pretty happy. There has been, I think, a couple other people that have done a similar type thing, and they've not been as happy. But at least with everything we've done, I think we're getting good results, and overall, you can't complain, really. Next up, I think the one thing I want to do is, if I am going to settle on one of these loads here, then I want to kind of proof it in the sense of let's load up a bunch and, like let's do a full magazine or whatever, and, send them down the range pretty quick and see if we have any reliability issues or any other problems. Also, too, I can bring out another 300 Blackout rifle and kind of test that out and see where we're at with that. How's it going to work with that rifle? And probably do one more video to wrap it up on the CFE Black. Now, here's the news coming up is that I went ahead and ordered some more bullets, and also, too, we're going to go ahead and test out at least one other powder. I need to pull the trigger tonight and order some more and maybe pick up some more to store, but I think maybe we should keep that a surprise. So we'll keep that a surprise, but we're definitely going to do at least one more powder, probably two, and see what our results are with that. So at the end of the day, by the time we wrap up this whole Project Big Booty video series, we should have a comprehensive set of, accuracy, reliability, and also too whether we're actually in the subsonic zone with these 220 grain berries bullets. So it should be the most comprehensive series out there on these bullets out there in internet land, I would suspect, once we actually get done with it. So that's the plan. That's what I would like to do, and see what we get, and see if other powders are going to make a difference or not, and then kind of go from there, and then settle in on a load. And then probably what I'll do is I'll just make, for my own personal consumption, I'll just go ahead and crank out a bunch once I get to where I'm happy with everything. But so far, these 220 grain berries bullets, super happy with them. You know, I can't fault them at all. I think they're doing what they are supposed to be doing, and I think also price-wise, it's a good price for what you get. There's a lot of other 220 grain bullets that are a lot more expensive. So anyways, folks, hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions or comments, make sure you leave them below. Any good questions or comments, I will be sure to bring them up in the next video, and we can kind of chat about that. And so always look forward to hearing from you guys. Make sure also, too, you check out the Amazon links below to support the channel. I'm actually using a brand new microphone here. That's all thanks to the people that have purchased things through Amazon, through my Amazon affiliate links, and kick back little commissions, in essence, to the channel. And so when y'all do that, I just reinvest in the channel and do more videos. So really appreciate the help from y'all whenever y'all do that. So folks, stay tuned, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.